Let's take this back to 2013, back to Sec 1 all the way to Sec 3, where I was this guy, no not literally, for those pictures weren't mine, I was Alex Jones. I was 16, I think that's right, but in reality I was 13, I could not write. But I wrote stories on Wattpad with a lot of mistakes, and socialized on Instagram where I got a lot of followers. I didn't have Snapchat for those pictures weren't me, so I couldn't use it, and that's kind of sketch. I met 3 girls with 3 different stories, and they were all real nice, and so was I. But that face wasn't mine, and that's a big thing that they did not know. But here's each story, since it's now part of me and not only them. Here's the first story. Initials LG. I met her on a game site. She was in a foster home with a broken heart and afraid to love. She was real nice, around my age. We spoke night and day and grew real close, until I felt like I was living a lie, so I told her the truth. For I couldn't do it no longer, and it broke her heart. And I felt real bad, but there was the truth, because sooner or later, either way, it would have come out. And I wish it didn't have to end that way. But one thing I'll always remember from her was that I always made her day and made her smile. That she knew Alex was too good to be true. But she had high hopes to meet him someday, any day in the future. For that never came true, and I'm sorry, I really am. But you were amazing. I hope you're okay. I do think about you on and off. Keep pushing forward because you were amazing and it was a pleasure to know you. No, it wasn't a pleasure. It was more of an honor. And I'm truly sorry. I was afraid to hurt you, but in the end I did. LG, just so you know, you hold a special place in my heart. And I'm sorry. I truly am. Here's the second story. Initials never learned, but always signed everything with the letter A. I met her on the same game site as LG, and yes, they knew each other, but over the web just like me. A was sweet and loving. We spoke about everything and anything, like how she had a crush on this guy at work, but now I'm just thinking it was school. She was used to abuse, and that broke my heart. So Alex stayed a character created by me, and she never learned that, for we lost touch over the years. And I wish we didn't, but I loved talking to her. She was my caterpillar and I was her worm. I know that's weird, but that's what made us us. But guess what? Turns out I got Catfish too. For I went to check up on her, and on Wattpad, she had this link, and it led to her YouTube channel. For those pictures she sent did not match up. I wonder some days, on and off, where life has taken her, and if she's okay. But nothing really more, for she wasn't LG. Here's the last story. Initials MM. I met her on Instagram, and we hit it off real good right away. She was my ice cream, and I was her lollipop. I gave her my iMessage with an email made for Alex. We never used our real names. We just used those emojis. She was talented. She was an amazing singer. She was funny. She was kind. She was amazing. Unlike the other 2 girls, her life was going smooth, maybe with the little bumps here and there, but nothing like the others, which made her fun. For like the others, we would talk 24/7, never any arguments or any complaining. It was nice, and she was nice. I felt bad for leaving her in the dark. So I told her the truth. She was mad, and I don't blame her. But then she asked why, and I told her the story. She then understood. And we spoke, and she got to know me, the real me. We still follow each other on Instagram, like my actual one, but we lost touch and no longer talk. Here's the story for whoever's reading this or listening to this. It starts a little something like this. I was young, I wanted to protect myself from any strangers on the internet. More like rapists and all. I made it to communicate with LG, and I kept it going over the years, because I cared about her and I wanted her to live and hope and not die. I had saved her life, she had once told me. But as time flew by, 2 or 3 years, I was done living a lie, and all 3 girls deserved to know the truth. It didn't matter if it broke us, because I realized what I was doing was wrong. And it was time for the truth. I learned a lot of lessons, and I'm thankful for them all. Before this chapter ends and I flip the page, what I realized was that I catfished pretty bad, but all for that one person, to keep her happy, because she meant so much to me. And maybe I loved her, I'm not quite sure. But she's in every story, and if you haven't guessed it by now, she's LG. She's the reason I started, and she's the reason I stopped. I couldn't lie to her anymore, but I don't regret anything, except that I catfished so many people that didn't deserve it. And there's the chapter in my story called Catfish.